evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Tuesday, regular meeting, Tuesday, July 4th, 2018 is called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Williams. Here. Trustee Wilson. Here. Trustee Brooks.
Present.
Trustee McMullen. Trustee Payton.
Here.
Trustee Oscar Brown. Mayor Huff.
Present. Please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. Approval of, are there any minutes for today?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
These are March 6 again. Those are the ones that we tabled. Yeah, we tabled.
Yeah,
before.
Yeah.
There was still, I think we need to table them because there was something I wanted to check. You was one?
Because we didn't have a chance to review.
Right, yeah. Could you do it?
Madam Mayor, I would like to make a motion to table the minutes. There's some trustees that did not get a chance to review everything in our minutes that we tabled last meeting.
Second.
Second.
Second by Trustee Wilson. Comments, concerns? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Williams. Aye. Trustee Wilson. Aye. Trustee Brooks.
Vote aye.
Trustee McMullen.
Vote aye.
Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Mayor Huff.
Aye. Thank you. General public, please. Oh, yeah. Ms. Mary Truss.
Good evening, everyone who's in this room and those of you who may be watching on the cable station or YouTube or whatever. I want to say that what I will say here in my comments are from my perspective and my comments. When I speak of my taxes, I'm speaking of my portion of the tax that I pay. What you pay and your opinion about your taxes is your business. I'm speaking from my perspective. I want to give directions to the board from my perspective. When you put one person in charge to make all of the decisions, too much chaos can happen that may not happen. Me, I don't say that chaos has happened, but from my perspective, when I pay my taxes, I want service. And I understand that there are meetings. One person is in charge of everything. He's attending a lot of meetings. He or she, he has no time to answer your concerns or whatever. But to someone else, my concerns may not be important, but they're very important to me. And I don't, when it's time to pay my taxes, I go and pay them. I don't say that, well, I'll talk to her some other time, or I'll do this, or I'll do that. That is not why you're here, and that is not why we function here. And that is not why we pay taxes. Everybody have to pay taxes, including the renters. I have a concern about how this village looks. It looks terrible. There are so many things going on here. Unless you're out and about, I guess you don't see them. We got houses that have been burnt and sitting there for 3 or 4 years. We've got paper that is picked up. We have to do, sometimes it is picked up and it's back down again. Well, we have to keep doing it until we get it right. And citizens, I pitch in. If you want to pitch in, pitch in. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. But this is our village. The Maple Leaf Apartments Those doors have been boarded for the last 2.5 years. And when I spoke about them before to code enforcement, they said, well, they're doing some renovation. Even I could have put up 3 doors by now. It's on our main thoroughfare. It's who we are. If it looks like a duck and it's quacking, it's a duck. If it's tacky, it's tacky. And it's on our main thoroughfare. It's across from the village hall. It's what we look like. Now I know the mosquito people, Clark, have sprayed this year, but the mosquitoes where I live are terrible because some of the residents in this town have developed a method of cutting the front lawn, not the back lawn. Now 2 doors down from me, there are 2 homes there, and this happens all over the village. There are 2 homes that have not cut their backyard in 2 to 3 years. And it's okay, I guess, with code enforcement. I was driving along today and come with us, and a woman was out there, and she was hitting and beckoning. I thought she was beckoning for me. She was hitting mosquitoes, and she was trying to measure the voltage in that box at that house, on the side of that house. There is grass there that is now waist high, and there is water in that swell. Now, I've gone to the village ever since you let the 3 houses be put on Farm View without augmenting that swell. We have water over there, and you see, you don't have the money all the time, and it's not something that you do. But I pay my taxes, that's something that I do. And there's too much water there with all of that debris. The village looks terrible.
Thank you.
Now I'll bring you some video next time.
Okay, thank you, Trustee. With that said, is anyone could speak to that? Because I do receive calls, Ms. Truss, as well, on other areas, and I think mosquitoes are all over. I think they're just on Old Forge. They're really across from me because I am across the street from a wooded area, which is a protected area, and we have them quite bad frequently too. But as far as these lawns not being cut, can someone speak to that, please? Because there should be some inspectors giving fines out about this grass not being cut, because I have that complaint as well. We have one right there in Gordon that's quite waist high as well. So what are we doing about that? How are we handling it?
So, Madam Mayor, I will answer those questions. Quite recently, maybe in the last 6 months, I've evaluated code enforcement. They're very much overworked. As the board passed the first 2 readings of the budget, code enforcement now fall under the fire department so they can get the proper management and leadership to ensure they have the right resources to get the job done. Secondly, in regards to various homes and houses and issues with growing grass, you know, the village administration, my staff only operates as best as those providing information to the village. If there are issues with homes that residents want to bring forth, there are complaint forms that are available at the village hall where residents can fill those things out. Emails can be sent to myself, Chief Chelios and Director Richardson, even members of the Code Enforcement Department in regards to those issues, so those issues can be addressed. To speak on dilapidated homes and various other issues, it takes money. When you have homes that are burnt down and abandoned, you have to go through the proper legal process for the village to take possession of those homes. This is the first thing. Secondly, once the village takes possession of those homes, then we have to have fundings to tear down those homes. And we are working with the land bank and to obtain various grants to see if we can obtain grant funds to tear down those homes, but there is a legal process that's required. When homes are vacated, residents are not informing the village that homes are being vacated, that homes are foreclosed. We have to deal with the banks and proper communication to the village in regards to notifying us, which is why I go back to our residents, our best eyes and ears in our municipality, and I appreciate Ms. Trust bringing these issues to our attention. We need more residents like Ms. Trust to bang down the doors of Village Hall and let us know these issues. But if nobody is communicating with this administration and letting us know the issues, it's very difficult for us to address. So I would ask our residents to please take the effort and put in the time to notify us in writing, come in the Village Hall doing a complaint for, and or send an email to myself, Chief Chelios, or Director Richardson in regards to those issues. And I think my staff would say if we get emails with specific addresses, we tend to address those things the same day. So it's all about communication and being able to put information out efficiently and effectively do our jobs.
Madam Mayor, can I be acknowledged, please?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Truss, I thank you for your passionate plea, and I understand that the village, it needs to look a little bit better, but I appreciate you, and you live a block and a half away from me. By mistake, sometimes I get your mail, right? So, no, I didn't get your mail today. But anyway, thank you for that, and matter of fact, I'm going to take a look over there, too, on your homes. I think that's north of your house, right?
Yeah, Breaking Boots.
Okay. The last time I spoke to you in front of your house, it was 2 months ago, and we've had torrential rain since then. So I'll find out too as well. Are those houses abandoned?
No, there's someone living in it.
Someone living in the house in Waist High? Okay.
You will find a lot of that in the village as you walk through the village. You see a lot of them cut the front lawn and they'll cut the back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ms. Truss. I appreciate your passion plea about the look of the village, and we will step up our game to take care of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Truss. I'm available every Friday in my office. I'm there from almost every day. Well, I'm there every Friday, all day long, so feel free to come and let me know anything about complaints you might have. But that's true, like I said, there's one right there on Gordon. It's the same way. And there was one house that was abandoned and burned halfway, but I noticed that someone did totally take that house down. That was, I think, on Circle or Sullivan. Yeah. It's gone now. So I'm really happy about that. And it is a legal procedure. Sometimes the homes are there, we don't know what's going on, we have to contact the banks, and we have to go through courts. It's very difficult sometimes, and it is a procedural thing to get them evicted. But however, we used to cut the grass and find the people. So that's something I think we need to go back to. And oh, you still do? Okay, well, maybe we need to drive around and see all the homes that are still up there that's not being lawned and give those tickets out. But I know for a fact I've talked to Mr. Richardson and the chief, manager here, that purposely, I've noticed this, they cleaned up the village. One Friday, I drove all the way down, came all the way back through the village, and I told Mr. Richardson, is it me or am I going crazy here? Someone purposely, that very next day, took bags and threw all the way to Governor State. They just dumped out bags. So they have been going through some of these bags to see if they could find a name in them. But the village, I had a visitor here, as a matter of fact, some investors, and I walked through the town center that Friday. And I took her all the way back to the expressway, and I was so proud that it was so clean that day. Came back Saturday morning, trash. Cups just looked like somebody purposely throwing trash out on our thoroughway. And as far as the Maple House, they said that was something with the fire, or they had a fire or something with the roof. I'm not sure about that. The Maple.
Boarded up doors.
Right. Was there a reason for that? Anyone know about that?
2.5 years.
Yeah. They said they had some problems with the roofing. Is that true?
About a year and a half ago, there was a storm that came through that lifted the roof off the entire complex and landed in University Parkway.
Right.
I know in speaking to the management, there's some issues with the insurance claims and things kind of being held up in legal proceedings in regards to them and getting fundings to get that resolved. But what I will do is I do have a very open communication with the management of that facility, and I'll send an email out in the morning and get an update and see where they're at and see if we can kind of assist in moving things along.
Okay, thank you.
But a door, correct, Chief, a door, we cannot take that board down, as officers. If if a building is a hazard, you cannot take that board out
That's
that
correct.
door. That's the truth, Ms. Truss.
Okay, well, that's fine, let's paint it. Let's take a picture.
All right, that's-
No, we can't go back and forth.
And let's paint the
We're
door.
not supposed to go back.
Okay.
Okay, so with that said, we will address those issues. Thank you very much. Diane Humes?
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, staff,
Good evening.
residents, everyone. I too want to thank you, Ms. Truss, for bringing that up because it is an eyesore when you when you drive down University Parkway and see all those boarded up buildings. And we were just talking about that, so thank you. But I'm here today to make everyone aware that the Human Services and Special Events Committee is back on and we are popping. Our first event will be a family fling. Now, I know a lot of you know about family flings. I don't because I wasn't here when they were going on, but we are having a family fling on Saturday, August 11th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. right here in 90 Town Center parking lot. And we want everybody to come out, bring your families and friends, come out and be prepared to have a good time on that day. Look for updates on Nextdoor, the UP newsletter, YouTube, everywhere. We're going to be posting updates, making sure that everybody is aware of the family fling. And regarding the Human Services and Special Events Committee, we are looking for volunteers. We're looking for people to be members and also to be associate members. Our next meeting is Saturday, July 21st at 11 a.m. right here at 90 Town Center. And anyone interested in joining, please come to that meeting and hear what's going on. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sorry, Trustee. I'm really happy to have these committees coming back together. And I must say, it was a nice meeting, Trustee Wilson, last evening. The people are really engaged again. And if you want to do anything about your community, like Ms. Truss said, that committee is dear to my heart, dear to Mr. Payton's, Trustee Payton's heart as well, because it brings people together. It brings unity and love and activities. You get knowledge about things that's happening. They have different functions. They have Black History Month. They're talking about a special something in October. They're going to do something every month, basically. And again, in November, as we always done, feed the people, anyone and everyone on Thanksgiving Day, the Christmas parties. It's just going to be a great time back in the community. We're going to have they brought up last evening that they're going to have a garage sale, a village garage sale here, and it's just going to be come in, get involved, invite everyone from your block, your area, to let them know that we're back and we're well and we're doing good. So I thank Diane Humes for chairing that. That committee. Thanks again. All right. With that said, those are all the comments we had for tonight. The next one, item on our agenda, unfinished business, which is the. Well, I'm sorry. We had a sign-in sheet. We have to cut off. We have it. This was given to us. So.
This is very important information that the community really needs to know.
See, that's why we have a cutoff time though for it. If you'd like to give it to me, Ms. Hudson. But please, you have 3 minutes to come on up because if it's very important, I don't want the residents to be neglected of it. But I think it's going to be something that I'll be speaking of in my minutes. But go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Trustees, viewing audience, and audience. My name is Cynthia Hudson. I've been attending the board meetings for quite some time. I've been a long-time resident of University Park. I just wanted the community to know that the Creek-Monique School District, what I would like to call your fatal five. You have 7 board members, 2 African Americans and 5 Caucasian, and we're outnumbered and outvoiced and outvoted again. So pretty much we don't have a say. But they have voted to go with this new plan their facilities management plan. I don't know if it's listed on the website, but
Their
you need
website?
the Cremoni 201U website.
Okay.
But somebody said it might be posted on Nextdoor. I don't do Nextdoor or any of that, so I don't know. But in this plan, they're talking about raising our taxes again. And they're trying to say that this plan is going to cost about $80 million, when in essence it's going to cost closer to $200 million. They're not telling you that. Your taxes should be going down in, maybe 3 to 5 years with the debt that we're in now. But with this plan, it's going to be extended for another 20 years. The tax breaks that you all have been getting now, you will no longer be getting that big of a tax break, thanks to your President Trump, who I didn't vote for. With his plan, you're not going to be able to capitalize and claim all of these taxes. Your max amount will be about $10,000, period. With this plan, your tax brackets, taxes are going to skyrocket. They're also talking about, in this plan, they're going to close the best performing school in the district, which is Coretta Scott King, located in University Park. This is our home school. So with this plan, we will no longer have a home school. We will be once again busing our children out to Crete and Monique. If I'm not mistaken, which I know I'm not because I was part of that lawsuit that when we were doing the one-way busing before, we're going back to that again with this plan. Not only are they talking about closing Coretta Scott King, they're also talking about closing Talila, which is in Park Forest, another African-American community. So if I were you as board members, you all need to come out and come to some of these school board meetings. Parents, viewing parents, even if you don't have a child in the school system. I don't have kids in the system anymore, but I'm going to these meetings because of this. I'm fighting for our kids. We need to get out and fight for our kids. We need to stop this plan immediately, and we need to stop what they're doing. They also have they have spent about $52,000+ on the National Investigation Residency firm. They're going after the African American people, kids, staff, everybody. They have gotten rid of about 9 African American staff members this year. We have had, I think, 4 or 5 superintendents in the last 10 months. They're wasting our money like nobody business. And they want to go after University Park, big time. So if I was you, I would get out. There's a small group of us that's trying to fight them, but we need you all to come out, and we need you all to come out in droves. If we need to do a petition to stop this, I urge each and everybody in this village to sign that petition. Otherwise, you are going to look at another 20 years of tax increase from the school board.
Thank you. Excuse me, I just want to know, what is the rationale for closing Coretta Scott King, since it's a high-performing school?
Blue Ribbon.
It's a University Park, if you ask my opinion. There is no rationale. There's no rationale in most of the things that they're doing.
But they have to vote on the board.
It's 5 against 2.
Yes.
The only 2 voted against this plan was Maurice Brown and Dr. Nakia Hall, the 2 African Americans. The fatal 5 voted for this plan. So they claim it's because of the life safety issues and all of that, but all this wasteful money that they're spending on paying 4 superintendents in one school year,
Right.
for paying $52,000 for the National Investigation firm, all that could have been going towards life safety issues.
Life safety issues meaning what?
The different, Crete Elementary have different life safety issues. You don't have all that in Moni and the high school because those are new buildings. But they want to build a new building for Crete Elementary. They want,
I understand. Just a second. Trustee Wilson.
What's the name of the document you have in hand?
this is the plan update. It's the facilities management plan.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. I'm sorry. Ms. Hudson,
You're welcome.
we have been working well back. Trustee Wilson, we were going to those meetings back in the winter, and we were with you on those. And I've heard this this weekend, and I was going to bring that to our police officers' attention too. I don't know. Some people have called me complaining that they feel invaded because people have been knocking on the doors.
The residency firm, the National Investigation Residency
Right.
Firm.
We knew who it was because we attended the meetings, but the parents didn't, and they called me, and I let them know. I said, you know what? You're a taxpayer. You really want to yell about some taxes? Let's go to that school board meetings. I've been going to those school board meetings for 20-some years. I tell them that since I've been sitting up here as a trustee, and now as a mayor, go to the school board meetings. You talk about your taxes, that's who's got 75% of your taxes, and you're not there. You need to be there, what's going on. But I got about 7 complaints this weekend about people knocking on the doors, want to see who their children are. They want to see who was in the house, and they want to know who is this, and then I told them, just tell them to go away. They don't have the right to do that to you. So I was going to speak about that. I don't know if anyone knew about that.
They could follow your child for up to 3 days and nights.
Yes. And then
They can take pictures, they can follow that child everywhere that child goes.
That's right. That's the firm they call, and I am aware of that.
The National Investigation Residency Firm.
Right.
And they will be using them throughout registration for this year.
Right.
That's another waste of money, because the same thing that they're doing, that's why they pay people to do that for registration.
So, just thank you so much for your comments.
And another thing I want the residents to know, if they take our residents to school, that's bringing down our community. When people look for places to buy homes, they're looking for a school.
Right.
So if you don't have a school, they don't want to come to your community.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Again, the school board meeting still on Tuesdays, the 3rd Tuesday of every month, correct? At 6:30. And if you're not there at 6:30, you cannot make your comments, because they're very strict about that. So if you don't get your comments done at 6:30, you're not there at 6:30 to make your comments, you won't be heard. So please, again, if you're interested, you want to voice your opinion, go to the board meetings. Say what you have to say for the future. Mr. Travis, and please, because this is out of order.
Curtis wants to know what life safety issues are.
Pardon me?
Curtis, Trustee McMillan wants to know what life safety issues are. Life safety issues meaning fire alarm systems.
Oh, with life safety.
Their fire codes, their fire alarm systems are not up to code, according to the county and state. That's what she meant by that. And I think the meetings are every 3rd Monday at 6:30.
Monday?
Yeah. Unless they changed it.
They changed it?
It's Tuesday?
Okay, I thought it was Tuesday, 3rd Tuesdays, okay.
All right, that's one of
That's what I've been doing. All right, again, 3rd Tuesday, 6:30. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hudson, for that.
Go on the website for the life
Okay.
safety issues.
All right, new business. First, second, and third reading an ordinance authorizing execution of an amendment to lease of the community property by and between the Village and University Park, Cook Counties, Illinois, and Prim and Paint Beauty Lounge, Inc. for Town Center Unit 8. Is there a motion? So moved by Trustee Brooks, second. Second by Trustee Wilson. Concerns, comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Williams? Both sides. Trustee Wilson? Aye. Trustee Brooks?
Both sides.
Trustee McMillan?
Both sides.
Trustee Payton?
Aye.
Mayor Covey?
Aye. Thank you. F2B, the resolution of University Park, Cook Counties, Illinois, authorizing the execution of an agreement by and between M&J Underground, Inc. and the Village of University Park, a sidewalk and concrete repair and replacement program. Is there a motion? So moved. Moved by Trustee Brooks, second. Second by Trustee McMillan. Any comments, concerns? Could you explain
I had a
this,
question.
please?
Yeah.
Oh,
Is he going to
go ahead.
preempt me here? Yeah.
I can,
Well, I just had one quick question, because the information we received just refers to various locations, and I just want to get a little bit better idea of where we're talking about.
so annually, we do a budget for our MFT funds. So what we do is we look at a specific square footage of sidewalk to be replaced. Once the bid is done, what we do is, upon the board approving the bid, we do a recon. Myself, more likely not, Director Richardson and Robinson Engineers will go out and do a recon of various sidewalks that are in the R right-of-way to be replaced. These are sidewalks that are buckling in through the overgrown trees, certain various sidewalks in the parkway and various areas in the village. So we had to wait till the bids came in to see the dollar amount that comes in, and then from there, further information will be shared as far as the actual locations, and that will be shared with the board and the public as well.
So this is different than the RTA grant that we received for?
This has nothing to do with RTA. This can actually replace residential sidewalks based on various issues that the village may have caused through repairs that may have occurred.
Okay. Trustee, you got no questions? No. Okay, would you please, because we're in the session now, would you explain to everyone the hidden mirror, I'm sorry, the information about the RTA grant that we got, which we did levies for, which I attend those meetings about this, that we paid what for this RTA that's being done right now? How much was that?
The village is not paying anything for the RTA Rights to Passage
Thank you.
project that's currently going on
Thank you.
throughout the village.
I need to put that out there. Did you hear that? It cost us nothing, and I said that before. If people really pay attention to my comments that I make and my reports that I make, because I sit on 5 to 7 committees, we talk about this years and years and years, and then they levy for certain things. We get certain grants. If you're not at the table, I was talking to Trustee Wilson about this earlier, if you're not at the table, you won't get your piece of the pie. And you have to be on the timeline. You have to be on the time frame. And I've been there, and before we had no one sitting there. So now I'm sitting there as we have, and I'll be reporting on the upcoming grants and improvements that we will be receiving in the village of University Park for nothing. So we're trying to get in on all these grants or percentage, because we had one for 80-20, and we were blessed that the 20 was paid for us. So that's what happened. There's nothing, this is not done, and I didn't say, okay, it's time for me to run for office, let's get this done. No, this was done years ago. And we have another one that's been ready to be done for 2019 or 1920, another $1,500,000 for another project. So if they pay attention and listen, you will hear and understand these are things that we're working on in the future, for the future, in the past, that we've worked on for years.
And just for clear, RTA, the Regional Transportation Authority. So the RTA grant is basically provided by the Regional Transportation Authority to make the village compliant for individuals that are handicapped, for ADA compliance. And to be realistic and to be quite open, this project was actually supposed to have happened last year, but due to weather issues, the project was not able to be started, and it got carried over to this project year. And this is a project that the village has been slated for the village for the last 3 years, and is now getting completed now. Not due to any particular timing, but due to the weather being the right way for construction to be started.
Thank you. Okay. Roll call.
Trustee Williams. Both sides. Trustee Wilson. Aye. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee McDonald.
Both sides.
Trustee Tate.
Aye.
Mayor Hubbard.
Aye. Thank you very much. On F2C, the resolution of the Village of University Park, Will and Cook Counties, Illinois, authorizing execution of an agreement by and between the Midwest Salt LLC and the Village of University Park for purchase of rock salt. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Trustee Williams. Second by Trustee, is that Trustee Williams? Wilson. Second by Trustee, Brooks. Comment, concerns?
Manager Page, this is something that bid, correct? And it was something that should have been done a long time ago that we're finally back on path, correct? I just wanted to make that for the record, Mayor, that we're moving forward.
Thank you. Anyone else? Trustee?
Yeah, I just had a real quick question. How much salt did we use last year? So I see this is for like 600 tons,
Director Richardson.
500 tons, so we'll have more, we should have more than enough, given them going, okay. And how much, what's our storage capacity? I know we talked about this before, but I forgot. How much? 300 or 3 tons? 300, oh, okay.
So we got two, yeah, we have 2 shippers or 2?
No, I only order salt as we
Need.
right.
But we, okay.
This is 650 tons we have allotted for the year.
Right. And I want to thank you and Robinson Engineers for putting this ahead of time, because before we didn't do this, as Trustee Brooks was saying, we're moving ahead, we're doing it the right way now. I appreciate that. Any other comments, concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Wood?
Bullseye.
Trustee Wilson?
Aye.
Trustee Brooks?
Both sides.
Trustee McMullen?
Both sides.
Trustee Payne?
Aye.
Mayor Hubbard?
Vote aye. Thank you. F2D, bills payable. For your, just a second. Okay. No, we have no. We have no. Yeah. There's another additional, yeah, there's a revision, thank you. For your, attached for your approval is the listings of general operating expenses for the Village of University Park that occurred on June 26, 2018 through July 10, 2018. General funds, $218,413.97. Road and bridge funds, $558.67. Town center funds, $7,314.37. Capital project funds, $48,348.84, totaling $274,635.85. Also, there is a total of general funds has been updated to include the invoices totaling $85,549.26 for Robinson Engineers. The check to be to cut upon board approval. Okay. Is there a motion? So moved by Trustee Second. Second by Trustee McMullen. Questions, concerns, comments?
I just had a,
Yes, sir. Trustee
just,
Mr. Payton.
yeah, they're more of a comment than a question. One is I'm just glad to see there were so many scholarship recipients on here. The second thing is regarding check number 102513. It's for the casino tours and charters. My only issue was, yeah, this is for, casino trips, probably for the seniors, but they're going, it looks like to Indiana for the, what you call it, rather than Illinois. I'm just kind of a homer. So I don't know, I don't go to the casino, so I don't know if one's a whole lot better than the others or not. But if I had my druthers, I would stay in Illinois, and the tour is not until September the 13th. I see. So,
Trustee duly noted.
okay.
Yeah. How do we do that? Is there a reimbursement, or is there just a straight? I mean, I do know somehow the casino trips really. It's my personal opinion. I'll say it. I'd like to see, like, it's a Soul Circus coming here, and I have many times paid for seniors to go out of my own pocket, and it was really nice, and they truly enjoyed it. I've also treated the seniors to Governor State events. It's not that it's positive, it's a little negative. I mean, they're pinching pennies. I'd like to see maybe if we have our seniors to go somewhere other than gambling their funds, and go somewhere that's recreational or uplifting or more entertaining. And then the $1,300, because it didn't cost me this much to take them a whole busload to Soul Circus. So, I mean, it would be nice if we could change the route sometime for the entertainment. If we're spending money, do they reimburse us, or we just pay this out?
No, people pay for the trip. And so at a certain point, we look at the amount of people that sign up compared to the money going out. Typically, these trips are not allowed if the village is expending or losing money in regards to the trip. So right now, people are signing up and paying for the trip. There's a specific cutoff point where I make a determination if the trip still happens or not. If it's cut off, the residents will receive their money back. If it's going to be a burden to the village to support the trip going forward. And that's how it has been the last 2 trips that occurred this year.
Okay. All right. Are there any others?
Yes. You just said.
We can't ask.
I thought it was a discussion.
No, this is not the open forum. That was the other. That's open for the whole. That's the first meeting that we had.
The first of the month?
So just to clarify,
Clear that up.
the months of July and August, there are no committee of the whole meetings because there's only one board meeting in July and August. So July and August board meetings are regular scheduled board meetings starting in September. The second Tuesday will be committee of the whole. The fourth Tuesday will be a regular board meeting for board action. But just for clarification, July and August will be regular board meetings only because there's only one meeting in those months.
And Ms. Herb, if you have a question, you can speak to us after the board meeting. We'd be glad to address it for you. Okay? All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Just a second. Let me get my agenda back. You had another question? Okay, roll call. Trustee Wilson? Aye. Trustee Wilson? Aye. Trustee Brooks?
Both sides.
Trustee Love?
Let's pay the bills, both sides.
I agree with my esteemed colleague, McMullen, and I vote aye to pay the bills.
Oh, aye. Okay, at this time, do we have any announcements of scheduled meetings? I think that was done. Anyone have any? Okay, then reports from other officers? Okay, board reports? Anyone have any reports? Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say thank you, Gary Richardson. I seen the patches that you patched up doing all down the streets. I rode around today and I saw them. Some of them were still wet, so you were still doing work today. But they're looking good, and I appreciate the things that you do for this village because you are interested in making it better.
Trustee Wilson.
Okay, so I'd like to say thank you, Chief Pate, Village Manager Pate. He worked on and obtained a grant to replace some of the dead trees. I just want to know if we followed up and got the information that we needed to turn into for the grant.
So the way the grant works, we went through the first round of reviews and the village was selected to go into the second round of reviews for the grant. The grant consists of the village picking out various parts of village property that require replanting of trees. We'll provide that list and it's due in August 17th. And I would tell you there is a list. I have it actually right here in front of me and spoke to Director Richardson about it today. There's actually well over 125 trees that need to be cut down and replaced and well over 50 on various streets that need to be replaced. The program works in 2 ways. It could be a tree that is on a resident's property and they can tell us they elect to have a tree planted, or it could be a tree that was on the village's easement, which most of the trees that were cut down on the village's easement, so we'll be responsible. The organization, if the grant is awarded past the second round, the organization will come out with a group of volunteers. They will request the village to have village residents volunteer as well as members of the board to volunteer in planting the trees, and then we'll be responsible for maintaining those trees, making sure those trees root during that time, and then basically go from there. There is a list. I do have it, and myself and Director Richardson will be more than happy to share with everybody. As far as kind of second prong of this is road repairs. Trustee Wilson requested a list of road repairs, what the plan would be. That plan has been posted on the village website for the last 3 months. We do have links. If you go on the village website and look on the left-hand side, it says Village Road Repair Plan. If you click that, that actually brings up the road repair plan for this summer. And that has been posted for 3 months based on Trustee Wilson's request 3 months ago. So that information is out there. What we will do is, as far as tree planting goes, we will put out information upon that stuff being briefed, as well as fundings become available, we will put out a list of potential trees that would be potentially cut down this summer.
So what are the grants now?
So we were selected out of the first round based on a preliminary evaluation of our town, the number of trees that were cut down, to actually provide a list to this organization to basically go in the second round of the grant process. And that is on August 17th. Upon August 17th, we'll get further notification if we were selected, how many trees they will bring and plant, and at that time, they request us to provide a list of volunteers and give a set date when they bring their volunteers out to actually plant the trees. So it's similar to the Kaboom project, but for trees. So they will provide staff, they will bring the trees, and we will have residents, they will request residents to assist in planting those trees in the village.
I'm sorry, just, can you announce again where the list is for the road repair so everybody?
So if you go on the village's website, go on the left-hand lower part of the page, you should see something referencing a road plan. If you click on that, you'll see the list pop up. It's a secondary URL link. You click on that and you'll see a PDF document that has the road plan and the road repair routes for the summer.
Now the ones, because we got some last year, and the trees we got last year, they died in the box, so I don't want that to happen again. So let's make it happen this year. And I want to be very careful on when we get the volunteers, they'll sign a waiver, because we don't want to have any casualties when people volunteer to help plan and something happens to someone. Okay, so please, let's be careful what we do with that. Okay?
All right.
Trustee.
This is my report right now. We're going. Okay, go ahead.
Just would like everyone to make sure that if you see something, say something. Just the other day, even though it was storming very bad, and I called Chief Pay because I couldn't get through the 911 system. I mean, it was very busy. Someone actually broke into the house right up the street. It's actually right behind Miss Trust. She knows where she's actually one of those yards she's talking about with that tall grass. They literally backed up and kicked the door in. What made me look the other way, believe it or not, I don't know. It was unusual, but something said, wait a minute, call the police. So see something, say something. But also I want to make a note about the village. The mayor did go through the village actually a couple of times with some developers I knew about. And a couple of times I did mention to Chief Pate or Manager Pate about the condition of the village. Let me just make a comment. Talking to someone who had the opportunity to work a town that was infested with rock cocaine in the mid-90s, we're nowhere near what it was. Karen and I went to go see someone who just passed away from cancer at Ingalls Hospital. And when I went to Harvey for the first time, and it's been a moment, I didn't even recognize that town. Trees, one street block was so bad of trees, weeds growing over. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I just promise you this. If you voted for me in this last election, myself and Trustee McMullen, Liz Williams as well, and then the rest of the trustees up here, we know when we see bad. And I'm gonna tell you, I promise you, when I see bad or I see something that brings back a memory that I don't think you as a resident sitting out here should not encounter, I do pick up the phone. In reference to the fireworks, I'm just gonna make a quick comment. I promise you that by this time next year, that you will not see the fireworks. It's just unfortunate that we did not have good candidates to hire as police officers. You don't want officers on the street that shouldn't be on the street. And Manager Pate is not going to let that step happen. Chairwoman Young is not going to let that step happen. So it was like those who fought in Vietnam. That was the comment I kept getting. Me, I just kept getting, what I tell you, Chief, irritated. Because when I worked in Harvey in the 90s, sometimes the gangbangers would take a Tech 9 and shoot it over our squad cars. It was for fun. But it rattled my nerves. And at 12 o'clock at night, I did send the mayor and Manager Pate an email because myself, these are people who experienced that. And I moved to University Park to grow. And I want to say is that we apologize for that, but we will get better as time go on. But one thing for sure is that we are moving in the right direction. Everything takes time. Trust me, I've seen it. And that concludes my report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Well.
Madam Mayor, I would like to thank everyone in this audience who came tonight because you could be doing something else and it's such a pretty day outside. And my invitation to everybody in cable land, everybody in TV land, to please come out and populate these chairs because we can make a difference. And we are making a difference. 462 days ago, they elected 3 trustees. So, and we campaign on change. Although it may seem long and arduous process, but it is working in the right direction. We are moving in the right direction. And it may not seem like it sometimes, but we are moving in the right direction. I see a lot of building that's going on that hasn't gone on in a while. And the mayor is working tirelessly on her networking abilities to draw some attention to University Park. And I'm a witness to that, and especially on Fridays, and you can't pull her out that office. She's always in there holding meetings in reference to this village moving forward. And I'm extremely proud to be up here right now representing University Park and with my esteemed colleagues up here because we've gone through a lot and we're going to do it the right thing for the village of University Park. So I challenge you to grab a neighbor, please, and ask the neighbor to come out and make a difference because this is the same old suspects, right? I see the same old suspects up here, and we have a lot of individuals in this village that can make a difference. So if you tap a neighbor on the shoulder and say, hey, listen, why don't we just come to the meeting of the whole or come to the regular board meeting and we can make a difference in this village. It may be slow, but we are doing it. And I invite you out here to come visit us and allow us to do our job effectively. I appreciate each and every one of you, and this is the start of a beautiful summer, and I am extremely proud of the directors of the departments, and we made a lot of good choices right now, and they are filling the shoes that they should fill, and they are making progress in this village. I appreciate you, every one of you. And Manager Pate, you are doing an exceptional job at your duty, and every time when I go to work every day, I can just say to myself, business is being handled here in University Park. That's something that I don't have to worry about. It's something that the other trustees don't have to worry about because you are on it. You are definitely on it. And I appreciate you for all the work that you've done. Thank you very much, and everybody have a great summer, and please bring a neighbor to this board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Golden Pate.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I'd just like to say that I yield the balance of my time to you so that you will have enough time.
All right, I appreciate that. At this time, I appreciate you all as well. We want to keep our clerk, D. Jones, in prayer. She's doing better, but just keep her in prayer. She's still kicking out our work to us, so we appreciate that. I ask you all to keep Mr. John Wise, our attorney. If you see that we have one of his colleagues here tonight because his father passed this morning. So please keep him in prayer. Comments on the police department. Deputy Debbie Wilson, thank you so much. I had 4 calls on you this week. And they said that they're so proud of their village. The lady said, I used to live in Chicago. I'm so glad I got the H out of there because she said at night, you don't see the kids tromping up and down the street. You don't see, they said they're very afraid of this village. And I thank you for that. She said, because our police department is really stressing the curfew. And another lady called me. I mean, it's been really great. So whatever you do, keep it up. We really appreciate what you're doing. We are planning our board, as he said, we're moving forward. We're doing great things. I'm happy and proud of them. And we're planning our retreat in August. We're putting things together for that. And after we do that, and we're going to include our department heads as well. But the things that we're trying to do is to make it better, see where we can go better. We have been, how can I say, courted by a lot of people. There are a lot of things that's happening around, but a lot of people are coming to us. And our trustees dropped by to see me. Trustee Wilson was with me Friday, and Trustee McMullen was Friday. For that, the other trustees, they just drop by, and I love it, and I bring them into the fold. Most of the time, our department heads are there as well, of what's going on in the village. Everything is transparent. There's no secrets or anything. I want to thank Public Works for helping us. We got another contribution from Applied Systems of furniture, and then helps us out tremendously. And Tuesday, I got a lot to say. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Trustee. Tuesday, June 26th. There was a meeting in Rosemont. This is very, very important, with developers from Israel and China. The purpose of the meeting was to 5 villages that was awarded an enterprise zone, which we had put our paper in the hat to see if we could be an enterprise zone. Thank God we were chosen. We're one of the 5 that was chosen. It's University Park, Park Forest, Matson, Richardson Park, and Matson. And we went there in the stormy rain. I took off work Tuesday, annual leave. And we went there. We were showcasing our communities to the investors, and they're looking to do satellite businesses in the United States. So it was a two-day process. The chief was there. Robinson Engineers was there, did a very good presentation for us as well. We rode through the different villages, demonstrated our areas where it might be an interest, and Senator Hastings met us for lunch here in our own area at Hidden Manor. And the luncheon he was there to support us and the investors and tell them how they should stay with us and afford in our region. Hopefully, we are one that they will choose a satellite area of their business. A legislative call we do every Monday with the lobbyists that they have for South Suburban Mayor Managers, discussing the House bills and the communities for every Monday. African American Mayors Conference calls is every Wednesday, and we discuss the issues that's happening in the White House and the effect that we're going to have on them in September. AT&T came out, and we're with us Friday as well, to create a commercial for our staff of first responding systems that will receive in our community. This system will help it that when he said, when you can't call and you can't get through, there will be no lines that will fall, there will be no workarounds. So our fire chief, Public Works, and the police chief and the police area will be able to get through and keep you out of danger in any emergencies. There was a South Suburban Regional Mayor's Black Caucus meeting this Saturday morning, and I attended as well. That meeting was held with our Southland. All of our police chiefs were there to see how we could work together and put these resources, because everybody know they're all broke. We all are pitching for money, because Chicago gave us nothing but a lot of people, but no services. So with that said, we had all our police chiefs there, and we're working on a committee for them to do something in which we will be inviting Deputy Wilson to be attending it. It'll be in August, they'll meet, and in September you'll meet with the mayors again. And we're trying to see if we can take our resources and pool them together to protect our whole region, not just in Park Forest or Olympia Fields, wherever. It will be for all of us. So that's something we're really excited about. We talked in length about that. However, the bad news, we discussed it in Bill 8, which everyone probably knows about. That's that bill that's about working with prevailing wages, and it's kind of, I thank God it's just Cook County. Unfortunately, it's Cook County. Will County doesn't have it yet. The bill was not passed because they said people got paid. So all the commissioners voted against us, and we lost that. So that's a very dangerous bill that failed. So they're going to have another meeting July 30th to see if they can restore it and make a difference. Because if that happens, small businesses, if you have your own little company, you can no longer do any work unless it's everybody's unionized. If it's not, you lose. So they're really hurting the mom and pop businesses. That's what the Senate bill is about as well. And we also have work done. You can see it's fully funded. I said that about RTA. And these projects are done via boards. Like I said, I've been on the next meeting. The next effort that's being done out here is going to be our lights. ComEd came and met with me as well and stated that it is our year, because that's why I said you have to stay on schedule to get your bids in. all the yellow lights that you see in the community will be replaced with LED lights. So that's something that they're giving us, but you've got to stay on your own schedule. You won't get these goodies. So they'll be coming out doing that next throughout the village in the residential area. And the next one will be the Cicero project, which is due for 2019-20. That's the Cicero project for the island there to be repaired. That's $1.5 million. And I'll be checking on that when our next meeting resumes back in August with the Plan Commission meeting. So hopefully that will be done. And we're still on the table. We still have the fundings for that. But you have to be at the table to make sure your projects keep going on. Now, that's my report. I'm happy about it. And I had some other things here. There's what I'll put on the table. The skilled labor, there's a labor career fair Wednesday, August 15th in Hazel Crest. And I'll put this so it'll be on our cable station so that our people can go out there and get this. We also have we had in the meeting too when we were at Rosemont, someone from Prairie State, there's some funding that I talked to the chief about. So we can have skilled people to work. There's a grant that are now training people in different areas, electricity, mechanical, carpentry, and they have a grant to freely train our people. So we're going to try to get on that list if we can, get any of our people that's interested in attending so that they can get on there. They don't know how long the grant's going to extend, but hopefully we can get it and we can move on that. I'd like to know our website. These are my questions and concerns. That we need to get this website uploaded. It's a new one. I need to see that done. I need to see it done ASAP. When board meetings are uploaded, I know March and April is the only ones we have completed, but we need to get them up because people are looking at us and we need to do that. And then when will positions, I don't know if you know, there are positions available in Public Works. If you have some skills that you're interested in, they're looking for what, part-time or full-time? Which one? Both. Okay, that's great. And again, please go look at the sources that we have here in the village. Volunteer, and again, I'm very, very happy what's going on with our committees. They're back, and that means a lot. Just like our trustee McMullen said, we're moving, and our trustee Brooks said, things are going good for University Park. You'll be surprised at who's courting us because our taxes are lower, and just like Ms. Hudson said, our taxes we'll start getting a lot of revenue in the next few years. A lot of our TIFs will be over, and we'll start getting a lot because I know a few years as high as $12 million. So we're looking forward to that. And the people are not stupid. They see that we're a diamond in the rough. And they're coming here and they're working with us and they're asking questions. So I'm going to always be out there on the front. We're all going to be out there as a whole. I share everything I can with this board and they feed back to me and I appreciate them so much. And keep us in prayer. And I love each and every one of you and you can't do anything about it. I ask for an adjournment. Moved by Trustee Wilson, second by Trustee McMullen. All in favor?